Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to implement this design, which is a reconfigurable antenna. So first of all, we are going to start by making a substrate. According to the paper, the substrate is the proposed antenna uses flexible Rogers RT Duroid 5880. So we are going to use this substrate. We will build a brick and we will call it as rectangle 1, or we will call it substrate, and the dimensions that it will take according to the paper are L cross W. L is 30 and W is 28.4. So we will give it W along the X, so it will take the dimensions from minus W by 2 to W by 2, and along Y it is going to take minus L by 2 to L by 2, and the thickness will be called as thickness of substrate, so it's TS. Let's jump upon to assigning material, and we'll use a filter and we will filter out a Rogers Duroid 5800. So it's not giving any output. Let's search R. So let's find it 5800. So we will use 5800 lossy. Okay, we will load it and preview our substrate. Now it's asking for the dimension W, which according to the paper is 28.4. So let's assign it 28.4. Okay, and then it's asking for length. So the length is 30. Here we can see it's 30. So let's assign it 30. Okay. Now it's asking for the thickness of substrate. So the paper says that thickness of substrate is 0.508. So let's add it. Now press 5 for an active view. So this is our substrate. Okay, let's match it. Yeah, this is our substrate. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to be making these two rectangles. For that we will use a brick, and let's name it as rectangle 1. So for rectangle 1 we need to be giving the X dimensions, the Y dimensions, and the Z dimensions. For Z dimensions we will start from the thickness of substrate and go up to the thickness of substrate plus a value that is thickness of copper. And let's assign the material copper. So copper is the material, copper anneal. Okay, for X dimensions we need to see here, it's saying it's LG and WG. So LG is 14.6 and WG is 13.4. So let's assign it as a WG, which is WG by 2 in the negative axis and WG by 2, and along Y we will give it LG by 2 to LG by 2, and let's preview it. So WG is 13.45, so 13.45, and LG is 14.64, so 14.64. okay, and it's asking for the thickness of copper, which is 0.035. Okay, so now we need to position this rectangle towards the left bottom corner. For that, we will adjust the values. Let's take a look at here. So what we are going to do is that we have to push this square towards the bottom. So for that we need to modify the y dimensions. So we need this component right here to be more negative so that it moves down. Let's give it a random check of LG by 2 and preview. So yeah, it's moving down. If we do this on both the sides, then the dimension of the rectangle will remain same and it will be moved down. So you see how we moved this down by changing the y dimensions. Similarly, we can push it towards left if we change certain dimensions here. So we need to push it towards the negative y. So let's give it a random value of wg by 2 and at both the sides, so that overall dimension remains same and it will only move along x. So you see it's done, but in paper it is at the boundary, but here it's not at the boundary. So okay, let's press 5. Then what we need to do now is that we need to add some we need to push it more towards the left side. For that, let's assign it very small values. Let's assign it 0.3. Let's preview it and okay, so I need to zoom it to see if it's actually moved. So let's assign it a larger value. Okay, let's assign it a more large value. So I think it's getting out. Let's assign 0.6. Preview it. No, it was fine. Let's preview it closely. Still it's out. So let's just assign it 1. Oh, that's a huge value. Let's assign it 0.9 and then 0.8 and then 0.7, 0.7555. Now it's, I think, on the boundary but a little out of the boundary. Let's reduce it a little. Still it's out. Let's reduce it a little more. Oh, that's not working. Okay, let's add a 0. Okay, I think now it's better. If you zoom out, zoom in, you will see it's just at the boundary. Okay, so press 5. Now you see that this is also a problem here. It should be in the boundary. Let's copy this value to see if it is working onto the y. So this is the y max value. Let's subtract this value so that it goes to a more let's preview it. Let's see the active view and then preview. So it hasn't changed. Let's erase this and paste it here. Now it's working because this is Y negative. So it's taken a huge difference. So let's reduce this difference to 0.4 and a little more. But now I think it's still out. So let's give it a 3.5 and preview it. It's okay. Let's give it more. It's not previewing it. So what we can do now is that we can add 4 and 0 0. Let's preview it. No, it's very large. Let's check it on 3. So it's very small now. So we need to give an intermediate value, which is this. So just a little bit more greater number will do the thing. Well, let's give it a 6. Okay, let's give it a 6.5.4. Okay, so this is working. Let's give it 2. Okay, I think now it's better. Okay, no, it's not better. Let's give it 1. Preview. Okay, so reduce it a little more. That would be 6.1. So let's make it 5.9. Okay, so now it's good. Better. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to transform the same rectangle. Okay, we will transform it, make a copy of this and move it along this axis. Okay. Preview and apply. Let's make it okay. Let's see if it's in the boundary. I think it's in the boundary. And let's check its bottom. It's in the boundary. But what we want here is that the dimension seems to be wrong. Let's check out the dimensions of rectangle 1. So we need to short it along the WG. So what seems to be the problem here? Okay. Let's see the problem. It should move. This F is 1. and this gap of G is 0.35. So 1 plus 0.35 and plus 0.35, that is approximately 1.7. So a gap of 1.7 should be present between the two rectangles. So how can we achieve that? So let me see if my dimensions of WG, which is 13.45, are correct. So WG is 13.45. Yeah, they are correct. And LG 14.64. So the dimensions are correct, but the rectangles are not properly placed. Let's take a look at the dimensions of substrate. L is 30 and W is 28.4. So they are also correct. Then what is the problem? Okay, whatever the problem is, we can fix that. So we have to, this point is X max. So we need to subtract a value of 2 times of G and a value of F. Okay, let's preview it. It will ask the value of G, which is 0.358. Okay, and then it will ask the value of F, which is 1. Okay, so as you see, it has made a space, but we will do it for both the rectangles. So we need to subtract only a single G and half of F, because we are going to do the same for the other rectangle. Okay, for a rectangle, okay, let's transform this rectangle 1 towards the left side. Okay, this time we will not copy it because I want the same object to be moved. Okay, so let's apply it and review. Okay, need to adjust this one too. Let's zoom it up. Okay, so let's mirror. Press P and double click on this point. Press P again and double click on this point. As you can see, the distance between them is 1.65, which is approximately 7. If we adjust this dimension right here, we can achieve that. So undo 2 times because you have selected 2 points. So undoing 2 times. Okay, so now let's make the feed as shown here. Let's pick a brick and name it as feed, and the dimensions for the feed are along the X, it is F, so give F by 2 minus F by 2 to F by 2, and give the Y dimension, which is LG plus this G. So L negative of LG plus G and LG plus G. We can thickness of the substrate and thickness of copper. Let's preview it. Okay, it has taken the Y dimensions wrong because it is very long. So we want the Y Okay, I forgot the 2, the half part. So it has made double the length. Preview it. Okay, so it's exactly in the middle. I want to push this towards the bottom. For that I need to make y minimum more negative. For that I need to I think I need to add half of this value, which is half of Lg. So let's try this this observation on both sides so that overall the size remains same but position changes. So it has worked, but still if you see there is a lot of gap between this. We also need to remove that gap. Okay, in order to remove that gap, let's make it more negative. And once, okay, let's press 5 and see if this is a little up. Okay, it's a little up. It's perfect because it has to be added to the above resonator that we have right here. So this dimension is good, but we need to make it a little long so that it touches the bottom. Let's press 5 and zoom it from here. So how much distance do we need to add here? Let's try a little value of 0.2. Let's preview it, and you see it's a little down. So let's reduce this value to 0.17. Preview it. I think that's fine. No, still we need to increase this value to a little number and a little more number. Okay, I think that is fine now. Still not fine. Let's add another number. So preview, not working. Let's add 811. 811. Preview. Okay, it's now little out. So let's remove this one right here and preview. Okay, I think it's good now. So let's press 5 for active view, and we see this seems good. Okay, now what we're going to do, I think the distance is not matching right here. Let's press P, and where this point, press P again. The distance between these points is 0.35. Okay, undo 2 times and press P again. Select this point, press P, select this point. 0.3. So 0.5, the difference of 0.5 is apparent. Well, I think this is due to the fact that my rectangle 1 1 is not accurate. Okay, press 5 and let's zoom it from here. So we need to adjust this so that it touches the boundary. So let's translate it a little bit towards the positive x, and let's make it 1 point. Okay, it was 0.8. Let's add 0.5 and preview. We can preview. No, it's not working. So change it to a less value, 2. Okay, what about it now? We need to rotate it, rotating it, and then zooming it to see if it has actually worked. Well, from here we can't see anything. Let's see the back. So it's a little out. Can we mirror the dimensions of? Yeah, we can. Press P again, and so the distance is 0.52. So it is 0.52 out of the substrate. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to subtract 0.52. Okay, subtract 0.52. Let's see if it's work. Okay. Okay, zoom it. Let's press 3 and see the back view. From the back, it is well, we cannot say anything about it, but it's still out. Okay, let's do another thing. Let's mirror these points. So press P and then again press P. So it is 0.379. Let's add 0.379. So for that we need to go to rectangle 1, and maybe this is it. Let's add 0.37. Okay, so it worked. It worked, which is good. 3, 7, 8. Okay. Okay, press 5. Let's take a look. Now the distance is equivalent. So you see how we are changing the dimensions to design our antenna. Now we will make this ring right here, which I will call main radiator. For that, let's make a brick and call it main radiator. And let's see the dimensions. So LM and WT plus WR. So along X it is negative of WT plus WR by 2, and along X max it is positive. Excuse me. Along Y it is LM, so assign LM. Negative LM by 2 to LM by 2, and thickness of substrate towards thickness of substrate plus thickness of copper. And preview it, it will ask for WT, which according to the paper is 5.2. So 5.2 it is, and WR is 11, and then it will ask for LM. LM is 7.3. Okay, so it has positioned it towards the 0 or origin. We need to push this up till this point. So for that I think we need to add the half of its dimension along the y. So I need to make it less negative because I need to push it towards the positive axis. So let's try adding lm by 2 on both sides. Let's preview it, and there we go. Okay, so it's lm by 2 plus g because we need to maintain the gap as according to the paper. Now let's note down these dimensions because we need to make another resonator. So okay, let's make it. Okay, now we need to make another resonator or radiator I mean, which is my inner main radiator. Okay, let's assign it the same dimensions, which were WR plus WL was WR and WT by 2 to and this was negative of Lm by 2 to Lm by 2 plus G Lm by 2 plus Lm by 2 plus G thickness of copper substrate, thickness of copper plus thickness of substrate. Okay, so if you preview it, it will make it as like previous one, but we need to make the inner radiator. Okay, so for that we need to adjust some dimensions, that we need to push it a little up from this side, and from this corner we need to push a little down. So this is my y minimum point from where it starts the resonator. So I need to reduce it to a value of f, because we note that this distance is equal to this distance, which is f. So we reduce it by f on both the sides. From one side we reduce it so that it moves up. From other side we should add so that it moves up, it gains more positive value, and we will make it to push it down so that it is taking a less value. So we will subtract from this side. Let's preview. Okay, it has worked. Similarly, along the x-axis, this is the point where the resonator is starting, which is my this is x minimum point and this is x maximum point. So I need to push this point towards the right. I need to give it a less negative value, so I will add f, and from here I will subtract f. Let's preview, and there you go. Make it okay. Now subtract your inner your main radiator and inner radiator. Press enter. See, it has subtracted both the radiators and we have formed a loop like shape. we see that here we have a little problem, which is this gap. It shouldn't be here. So what we need to do is we need to push this feed a little up, or we need to make this feed a little longer, because it is good from this side but it's not good from the upper side. They should be touching together. For that we need to make this a little longer from the Y max side. So let's add a G. Let's add a G. Okay, let's add a G by 2. Okay, now it's good. It's touching, and we'll close it. Now we will add our feed with the main radiator. Choose both of them and add them. They are added, and we are done with our design up till this point. Now we need to make this outer radiator, and we will translate it at here. So we just need to put some effort in our outer radiator, and inner radiator will be automatically formed. So let's make an outer radiator. Okay, so let's give the dimensions, which are LR and WR. Along X they are WR by 2 to WR by 2 and L minus LR by 2 to LR by 2 and TC TS to TS plus TC. We'll preview our design. It's asking for LR, which is 3, so give it 3. Okay, it has positioned it here. We need to move it upwards. Okay, let's see what can we do for this positioning. Okay, let's push it a value upward. Along x-axis the dimension seems good. Let's change along y-axis. So what we are going to do is let's add a value of LR by 2 on both sides. Okay, and preview. So it has moved a little up. Let's add more values to it. Maybe we can add LM by 2, and let's see if how much it moves up. Okay, it has moved upwards. Okay, let's increase this value and preview it, and keep on increasing until you have reached to a satisfied level. Okay, that is way higher. 1.5 maybe. Okay, this seems okay. Let's make it okay. So it it is still higher. Let's push it a little back. So maybe 1.2. Let's try it. No. It should be 1.3, I guess. 1.3. Let's preview. 1. We need to increase this value. So 1.33. Preview it. 1.37. Preview it. 1.39. Preview it. Let's check this. We still need to move it up. So let's keep on trying. Okay, let's make it 1.4. And preview. Maybe this is fine now. Components. Still we will keep on moving it. Now let's give it a value of 1.42. Preview it. Okay, maybe this is now satisfying. So it seems satisfying now. Now we need to subtract a little ring from here. For that we are going to be making a cylinder that I am going to call a ring, and let's give it a radius which according to the paper the outer radius is 5, which is 2.5 actually, and the inner radius is 1.5. So it will automatically be making a ring for you, but you need to center the ring towards here. So you need to consider the dimensions carefully. Thickness of substrate and thickness of substrate plus thickness of copper. So let's preview the ring. So the ring is right in the middle. Push it upwards by giving some dimensions. Okay, we'll give the same dimensions as were given there. So so we need to be covering a distance of LM plus LR. Let's give it LM, not negative, it should be positive, LM plus LR by 2. Y center, well, the X center is good. We need to give a Y center. Let's preview it. Okay, need to move more. Preview. Okay, now it's good, but still we need to be moving it to a distance of I think LR by 2. Preview. I think that's okay. That seems good. So let's subtract this ring of mine. First I will select the outer radiator, then I'll press Ctrl and select the ring, and then I am going to, okay, let's select the outer radiator and then subtract this outer radiator from the ring. You see, this is our radiator. outer radiator. Now just transform this outer radiator, or we will move this outer radiator to a distance which is less than 1, and again 1 2, and again 1. It's 1.5 maybe, or 1.2 and 1. Let's assign it LM, half of LM, plus let's suppose this is 1.2 and this is F and 1.2. So let's try this out and translate it to make a copy of it. So well, that's fine. Let's apply and zoom. How it should look. This distance is less than this distance, so it should be moved upwards. Okay. Okay, I have disturbed this. Shouldn't be disturbed. Let's translate this again to a little value, to a little up. This is 2 1/3 square, so this is 1 square and okay, maybe this is fine. Let's apply it. Let's see if it's fine or not. Well, it seems fine. Yeah, I think it seems fine. Okay, so now we are going to be moving towards the results, but before that we need to add a feed. We always add a feed. Turn this so that you can see the bottom of your feed right here. Let's zoom it. When we zoom, we go to the picks and we pick a face. I want this face, so double click on it, and then we will move to the simulation, and we will have a waveguide board, and we will give some parameters to it. So it's a hard and a fast rule that you need to follow at this step. It should be 3 times your F, and this should be 3 times F also, and this should be your thickness of cover plus your thickness of substrate, and this should be your 4 times thickness of substrate. Okay, so you will set it and press 5. Now you need to simulate. For that you will start your simulation. So the simulations have started and we will meet at the results.